Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back after about a 10-day sabbatical. We finished the series of videos around personal leadership. I'm now going to launch into a series of videos built around something we call personal productivity. Simple reason for that is that as businesses come out of lockdown, I think we have to be realistic and understand that many of the people on furlough won't have a job to come back to. Many of the businesses that come out of a lockdown period won't need the same amount of people, can't afford the same amount of people. And I've seen this previously in 2 or 3 previous recessions when this sort of thing happens. What typically happens is the expectation upon the people that are returning to work is everybody's expected to do more, deliver more in the same time for the same money. So that sort of throwing more time and throwing more people at a job simply isn't going to be a viable proposition. And the other thing I always see is that companies take the opportunity to cut their overheads by getting rid of some maybe more senior, more experienced managers and replacing them with less experienced and knowledgeable managers who they don't pay quite so much. I call it tactical pruning. It might be a bit unpalatable, but it happens. So with that in mind, simply put, people, individuals within organisations at every level have simply got to become more productive. So I'm going to be sharing hints and tips over the next probably about 6 weeks, all on the subject of time management, prioritisation, delegation, in those areas. But before we get into the hints and tips, there's 2 things I want to make crystal clear. Time management, improved time management, never just happens. It's born out of well thought out goals. So just like in my previous video, I took the time out to say you've got to get serious about your goal setting. Exactly is the same. The same is true about improving your personal productivity. If you're not serious about what it is you want, it simply won't happen. It doesn't happen to you. You have to make it happen. And the second thing is, and it may be where we start the videos, is rather than some sort of trick or tip or technique that we work with you first, simply put, it's all about attitude and habits. The habits you've got into today with regards to productivity, you're going to have to shift. So one of the areas we need to shift is our belief, our self-belief that we can take more control of the agenda. I come across people who will say to me automatically, Mark, you just don't understand. I simply don't have enough time. If you say that to yourself, you're absolutely right. You won't have enough time. If you say, I haven't got the people, I can't trust my people, they're not good enough, they're busy too. Guess what? You're absolutely right. You won't be able to delegate appropriately. We need to change your mindset first before we can start changing what you do. So we need to get you to take ownership of and believe in the fact that you have permission to take more control of your agenda. You are allowed to say, no, not now. I will do that later. You are allowed to make a list of priorities, your priorities. So there's a bit of the opening gambit. I'll be back tomorrow, perhaps with 1 or 2 practical tips on what you can do to take back control of more of your agenda. So in the meantime, again, continue please to take care, stay safe, and I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.